Mm. Welcome, everyone, to episode 50 of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Once again, it is your boy Sarath, aka Makazi,
And your boy Chris Brown, aka Red Ford Delta. How's everybody doing out there?
and we want to thank you all for rocking with us on this journey. It's been a long time coming. We've been putting a lot of effort into this, and there's a lot more to come. But as a special treat for all you lovely listeners to the podcast, we are going to bring to you what exactly are we bringing to them, Chris?
We are bringing them our very first pilot episode when we
Yes.
were the MCR, movie cover roulette, when we were just figuring this thing out.
Yep. It's a movie that I still hold dear. I still recommend it a lot. Is Mercy Black, but this is a very rudimentary podcast. Storytelling with this
Yes,
episode. So again, bear with us. This was the early days, but this is the fruit that bears. Whatever we're doing right now.
this was when there were still glasses, about about 15 inches of hair less,
Yep,
slimmer,
20 pounds lighter. Yo,
complexion a little lighter. Like everything was just lighter. We've
yo,
gotten more darker.
Chris, what do you think? What do you think about this journey we've been on? Like, what's your take on this whole evolution from MCR to MTP?
Oh, I love it. Because like I said, we first got started, we were just winging it. I mean, we still winging it, but we have a better format now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But I love the fact of which the viewers and listeners, you guys will see that we try to keep a format and we'll try to be all professional. Versus now, we just don't give a shit. We
yeah,
just talking. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. At,
you could
yeah,
definitely
at,
tell the difference.
at this point, we all family. This is us. I mean, if you've been rocking with us ever since the beginning, then you know that like we love y'all to death, and you guys are part of the crew. So thank you for being here with us. With that being said, here is our pilot episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. Yeah, let's go.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we're just gonna start this shit live.
The only time I caught the Holy Ghost was when I was in church drinking.
Like they're two dumb dudes. Welcome to the latest episode of Sarath and Chris's Movie Therapy Podcast. All right, I'm gonna do a countdown. I'm just gonna clap. That's gonna give me a sound, something to like, so I can line it up when I do the video.
Okay.
I might not need it anyway, but fuck it, we'll just do it. All right, ready? All right. Welcome. This is the first episode of what is it? The movie cover roulette podcast. That's you guys don't understand that took us forever to come up with that name. But if you know me as Saratan, aka Makazi. I make costumes for a living, and I love pop culture and movies. And my illustrious co-host over here, introduce yourself, man.
My name is Chris Brown, the original. I was beating women first. No, I'm joking. um, nah, me and Sarath go way back to ice cream days. I'm a truck driver now, and we got a love for movies.
Doug, so because your mic is on your side, you're traveling over like this to talk to it.
Oh,
Just you can just talk normally. It'll pick up.
gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So let's explain why we wanted to do this podcast, because me and you, we have a very loving relationship when it comes to movies. Like,
Indeed.
yeah. So like for the viewers, either on camera or for the audio people, explain. How about you explain to them like where this all started for me and you?
Oh man, movies for me and Sarath started, I want to say 2008, I believe, or 2009.
I don't know.
Well, Sarath was a movie guy. I love music,
Mm-hmm.
and we both love food.
Yep.
So at this time, we were working at an ice cream factory, and every weekend we would go find a movie because Sarath liked movies. We go find something to eat, and then we go to some type of club and just have fun. And that was an every weekend thing.
Yep. And it was debauchery to the end. And if you did anything stupid or anything that got yourself clowned that night, best believe when we got to work on Monday or Sunday night, you heard about it, and you heard about it all week until the next Friday when we went and did it again.
Until somebody else did something stupid.
Exactly.
and we've all had our stupid night. I think Sarath has like the least out of everybody.
Well, it's because I wasn't drinking then until I met you. Like I was 26. I didn't have one drink of alcohol until I met you.
And I was fresh off the military. Me and drinking became good friends.
Yeah, what you drinking there?
My usual Jack Daniel.
All right. All right. What's it called? I see that glass. Is that Chicago glass I sent you?
Yes, indeed. You know, good love for Chicago. I lived there for 7 years. I actually grew up a lot there. Even though I was growing, I moved there, but I grew up a lot. So
Yeah. That's good, man. I mean, I remember I used to go visit you out there, and that's one thing we never did is go watch a movie while we were out there.
yeah, time was actually pretty tight when you would come out there.
Yeah.
So it's like, chill for a couple minutes, hopefully grab something to eat, really for the most part, catch up. Then you back on the move because of your professional work.
Exactly. So, so the reason why we started this podcast is because, we've been just in more communication lately, just going back and forth, seeing each other and stuff. And the one thing that we missed is our movie days, just going to catch a movie. I see Chris is getting in character.
Here we.
You're going to burn your house down, dog. So we used to we were just wanting to get back into our whole movie thing, because like me and Chris, we have a in-depth discussions about movies, about the movies that are coming out, the movies that are out now, and we will watch anything. So I remember one day, I think it was some movie you were talking about that you had just seen. I forget what it was, but like you just popped it on because you hadn't seen it before. You remember what movie that was?
It's one of my favorite movies. I want to say Big Fish.
No, it was recent. You said you were scrolling through.
Oh,
whatever.
You talking about not Kung Fu Hustle? Was it Shaolin Soccer?
Yeah, Shaolin Soccer.
Yeah.
So like I love Shaolin Soccer. It's one of my favorite movies. But like Chris had never seen it before, and he was scrolling through and saw the movie, and he popped it on, and he liked it.
Yeah.
So that got me thinking, like, that would be a good way of just kicking back in our movie thing, is watching movies that we had never seen before, and then having discussions about it. So I said, yo, let's fire up the laptops and the mics, and let's just do a podcast about it.
Yeah.
So that's how it also brought us here. So how about you explain the gist of what we're doing with this podcast?
So when we came with the idea, of course, the name was the hardest part, but we just picked random movies that have to be streaming, no matter what streaming service it is. Find a random movie, and we watch it, no matter how good or bad it may be. Then we're going to talk about it, basically cover the movie.
Yeah. So one of the rules is you can't have seen the movie before, and you can't watch the trailer. We're literally just going by the art, the movie cover, or I mean, since it's streaming, it's probably a movie poster, but essentially the cover of the DVD or VHS, whatever you want to call it, is basically like if you were going to a video store and the movie you wanted wasn't there. Well, you know what? Let's take a walk down the middle aisles, down the horror section, down the martial arts section, and let's just find a movie that literally by the cover it intrigues you enough to where you want to go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now that times have changed from Blockbuster and Hollywood Video to Redbox, now everything's streaming. So movies are at the click of a button.
Exactly. And since we got access to so many movies, and I mean, if you go on Netflix right now, like you can just type in a letter and just scroll down. I guarantee you 90 to 95% of those movies you've never even heard of. Foreign films, low budget, exclusives. And so many times I've gone through searching through Netflix for something to watch, and I end up watching the same thing over and over again, because sometimes it just becomes overwhelming. Seeing all those titles, you don't know what you want to pick, so you just go back to something familiar. This may be a good way of like branching out, stepping into the unknown, and maybe finding a gem that we can then tell to the audience, tell to the people, tell to y'all at home, and just, I mean, there's been countless times that I've watched a movie that I'd never even heard of where it blew my mind, and I was so happy that I found that movie.
Yeah, that's how I discovered my favorite movie, Big Fish. Just sitting up one night and watching it.
So, and why is that your favorite movie?
I've seen that movie, I want to say 18 times right now. Yeah. And every time I watch it, I learn something new. I love the metaphors. I love the hidden gems in the movie. I love the imagery. It just, whoever wrote the movie and filmed it, shot it, they just, to me, did an amazing job with everything.
I want to say I've seen it like a long, long time ago. I don't remember it at all. You remember a lot better than me, but
yeah.
I like indie movies. I used to go to the theater in Boston to Kenmore Square and watch like indie movies and stuff like that, or foreign film. So yeah, sometimes watching something that you wouldn't normally get a chance to check out can just lead to, actually can expand your horizon and, you know, get you interested in something you might not have been interested before.
Indeed.
All right. So this first episode of this show, it's weird, man. Like I feel weird. Not weird, but like this is it's kind of exciting.
Indeed.
Like, talking about movies again.
Yeah.
Like,
So we haven't done in a long time.
I know. All right. So this first episode, I got to pick the movie that we were watching, and so I decided to just go on Netflix one day and just type in a letter. I typed in the letter M, and I started scrolling down. And hold on, let me take my, see if I can find the screenshot. You can tell like this is real rudimentary the way we're going about this. So maybe we'll figure out a way of doing this better next time. But for now,
it's the first episode.
Exactly. This is going to happen. This is how it's going to work. If y'all don't like it, y'all can go somewhere else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, we're not here. And the thing is, we're not here to talk about movies we like. Like we might hate the movie and we might just get into a deep discussion about why this movie, why we don't like it. I'm not going to call a movie terrible because a lot of effort goes into making anything good or bad. Like, you know, I don't think anyone ever goes into it trying to make a movie that doesn't connect. But I'm gonna be honest, if it wasn't something I enjoyed, you know, I'm gonna tell you I didn't enjoy it, and I'm gonna tell you why. How are you?
Same. I try to have an unbiased opinion. You know, I don't want to make people go watch a movie because I like it. I want them to watch it because they want to see it how they see it. You know, I've learned that in life, everybody can see the same object from a different angle. So even though it's the same object, everybody sees something different. So
exactly, like perception and perspective. You know, that does a lot to a person. Like sometimes you and your best friend or someone you never know can see the same exact thing totally differently. And sometimes you're having that kind of discussion can make you see things in a different light, in a better light, in a worse light, but just in a way that you're not used to looking at it. And that in turn will probably help. No, not probably. It will help, you know, just get you thinking in a different way. I'm trying to have a hard time trying to find
so you just said it to me.
This movie, dog. Because I keep seeing screenshots of stuff I sent you, like drinking whiskey with my friends and stuff like that. I don't know. I might have to just. And the reason why I'm trying to find this screenshot is because I want y'all to see, you know, for the audio people, we'll try to describe it, but for the viewer, the video followers and watchers, I want y'all to see what this cover looks like, so I can explain to you why it intrigued me. But dang it. Come on. You talk to the people about your affinity for cigars while I find this cover.
Oh, this is just me and cigars became friends by accident because, well, Sarath knows I used to be an extremely heavy drinker. That's something that's why he's laughing, because he probably thinks I'm still a heavy drinker, which I've actually simmered down quite a bit. But I've learned in my drinking to not let the drink enjoy me, enjoy the drink. So a good cigar with a nice, in my opinion, whiskey, because I like whiskey, it kind of keeps you mellowed out, keeps the balance, and for me, I'm really just enjoying it. So I love a good cigar, especially one that has a nice aroma, and it's relaxing. It helps come down off of either a tough week or a tough day. And, you know, me being a truck driver, some days are worse than others, more mentally than anything else.
And for the audio listeners, you don't know, but we're actually in different states right now. Chris is over there in bumfuck Alabama.
Hey man, this place is pretty cool. Ain't nothing here but me, deer, and snake, and raccoons and shit. But you know, it's actually kind of relaxing.
Yeah, and I'm in my little spot in Orlando, so you know, it's
around civilization.
I'm getting upset right now because I can't find this thing. I swear to God. I have, man, listen. I see pictures of Kofi. I don't know. All right, give me, hold on. I'm going to find this thing.
I'm about to say you just had it.
Well, so I just looked up online and like it has a different cover than the one I saw, but I guess screw it. I'm going to just go by by this one. This is pretty much essentially the same thing. But anyways, all right. So the movie we are watching is called, or we watched, it's called Mercy Black.
That's definitely a different cover.
Yeah. The one, so the cover I saw on Netflix had just it looked like it was a, what are those things called? Like a stick figure voodoo doll, and something like that. But this cover kind of still feels just as ominous as the other one. But so the reason why I picked it out is one, I ain't never heard of the movie Mercy Black before, but it's been a while since I saw a horror movie. So I, just scrolled through, I saw that, and it was a really graphic cover. So it got me interested. And boy, does it give me a lot to talk about. All right, so first and foremost, for anybody who hasn't seen that movie, I urge you to pause wherever you are listening or watching this podcast and go watch it and then come back and hear our discussion, because we are going to get into spoilers. Sorry, but that's the only way we're going to have these discussions, is to get into spoilers. But maybe just to do you a favor, Chris, would you recommend anyone to watch this movie?
Yes, but watch it open-mindedly. Like, I mean, I did, and I'm not gonna lie. Some parts that actually catch me off guard. Like, okay, I didn't see that coming. But then, I guess because I'm such a critical thinker, I try to think deep about everything. I could see other things coming. So it had, in my opinion, a little bit of everything. Like, it had a little bit of suspense. It had a decent storyline. But if you went to the movies, you'd be pissed off if you paid for it. I'll put it like that.
Okay, I'm not going to say that if you went to the theater, you might be pissed off that you paid for it. What I will say is, like, it goes in some directions that I wasn't expecting. Some I liked, some I didn't like. Overall, like, I'll say I enjoyed it. Because I'm actually glad I watched it. It was different.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but like, is it the best horror psychological thriller movie ever? No, not by a long shot. But there are some elements to it that are like really entertaining. So, if you're just in the mood to watch something that has a couple jump scares and stuff like that, like, yeah, go check it out. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it did have those. That's what I'm saying. I didn't expect the jump scares. Like, oh wait, that kind of got me a little bit. Okay.
All right, so yeah, for the listeners, everyone, if you want to watch this movie before hearing the rest of this, press pause right now. If you're listening, I'm putting my finger down. Press pause and go watch it, and then come back to us after. All right, ready? I bet. Now we're getting into spoilers. All right. So first of all, this movie went in so many different directions. Like,
That's a big head nod.
So for me, I think my biggest issue with this movie is I feel like it didn't know what kind of movie it wanted to be. That makes
I can agree with you on that.
Like, I couldn't tell. Like, it just felt like you in one scene it wanted to be like a slasher movie, and the next scene it wanted to be like a ghost story, and another one it wanted to be a revenge. Like, it was so many different things, and it felt like the focus was trying to go to everything that it lost focus of the actual story.
Yeah, because I agree. Like, it felt like it wanted to touch the story, like get deep into it, but then run out of time. But then they wanted to get some visual effects, which some of them look like terrible. But the one thing I did appreciate about it is the camera angles.
Yeah,
like especially in the beginning scenes, it always looked like the camera was angled where you were suspecting something to happen behind the person.
Yeah. Like, the cinematography was actually really good on this. Like, I liked it. It was very ominous. Whoever did the production design, like, it feels very creepy. So the atmosphere itself of the movie, got you on your toes. So you already knew, like, you were expecting. So that was good. Like, I do like the look of the movie. I like the actress, the girl that played the lead. I forget her name, but that she was nice to look at and she was good. I liked her.
Yeah.
Hold on, I wrote some stuff down. I didn't know if I wanted to write some notes down, but there were a couple things in there that I had to write down because, man. All right, let me pull out the little
I
notepad.
I feel like you can't. I can't see the words, but I feel like the beginning, like at least the first 3 minutes of the movie, actually was a good introduction to pull you in.
Well, yeah, because it was a flashback.
No, I'm talking about when she's in the
Oh, when she's in the
talking to the
so the flashback, and then when she's in the
yeah
hospital,
yeah
that was really good. I mean, first of all, it caught me off guard that fucking Janine Garofalo was in this.
okay.
You know who Janine Garofalo is?
Nope.
It's like Mystery Men and damn it, what other movies was she in? She's a comedian. She was the one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I need some about
therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, she looks different. I think she's got some stuff done to her lips or stuff like that. She looked different, but I was surprised. I saw her. I was like, oh shit! Like I didn't know she was in this movie.
Mm.
So yeah, first and foremost, this is produced by Blumhouse, and if you're a fan of horror movies, y'all know what Blumhouse does. They are the kings of doing, low budget thrillers that one turn in a lot of money, but usually like with that low budget feel, it allows for more creativity. Would you agree that they use a lot of creativity in this movie?
Oh, definitely. I'll give them that. There's definitely a lot of creativity.
Yeah. Low budget too.
Yeah. The costume, just the setup of it,
If you told me, dog, if you told me most of the money went to pay Janine Garofalo for her cameo, I might believe it. It was like essentially the movie itself. There wasn't the house, and then there was like a trailer, and then the field. There wasn't a lot of like sea settings in this movie.
Yeah. And not a lot of characters either.
Yeah. It was like what, like the girl, the lead character,
her sister, of course, the
son's friend, and the librarian, and
and the therapist. Yeah. And then the dude. It could have been more than 10 people altogether.
Yeah. All right. So first of all, the dude.
I didn't like him.
Dude, like 2 seconds in, like you saw him. I thought he was dating the girl. Like initial.
She said it was her boyfriend. I thought.
Yeah, and then like the way the son was interacting with him, I was like, oh, okay, he's familiar, and he turned into an asshole real quick.
Yeah, like as soon as she walked away to put her son to bed or whatever, he started pouring more wine. Like she said, she's like, what did he say? I don't remember. She's like, yeah, this is my first drink like ever. And he's like, drink some more. Like you fucking rapist.
Heavy hand. But when I saw that, I thought he was gonna try to sleep with her. But then he was asking her about like her past and all that shit. I was like, come on, you just met the girl.
For real.
Yeah.
Like which told me he had to already have a background of who she was due to dating her sister.
Yeah, but I didn't even hear the dating part. I just knew that like he was familiar, and I just knew that he just met this girl, and already he's delving into her fucking history and shit like that. Like,
yeah.
And it was if you ever got the feeling that someone was like a bad guy straight out, like that dude, he didn't be the bad guy. He was just an asshole.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it was man, it infuriated me when he started talking. Like again, I told you I watched it twice, and the minute I saw him, I was just like, dude, that's like I don't know who wrote that, but like they just made him into like an obvious. Okay, we're supposed to hate this guy.
Yeah.
Even when he was trying to be likable, they just like when he snuck into the house.
Yeah, through the back door, right?
Yeah.
And that's what caught my attention too. And this is why I said sometimes I hate the way I think.
Yeah.
Because when he ran out the house after she cut his hand or whatever, his truck was sitting right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you walked around to the back and you knocked that nobody heard.
And this man he called the sister crazy. After he walked in there, he was trying to like fucking talk her into doing a book, tell her a story.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that guy, I really think he was made just to throw everybody off.
Yeah, I think he was made just to be like, okay, we got this obviously like heinous dude, like let's put the scent on him. Like I don't know how familiar you are with pop culture, but like when I watched it the first time, I immediately said, okay, they're trying to make their own take on Slender Man. You know who Slender Man is? Right, so Slender Man was like this urban myth up in I want to say New Jersey or something like that. but it's about these two girls. True story. These two girls brought their friend into the woods and stabbed her like 12 times for Slender Man, and the girl ended up living. But like once I saw that, and then I saw the whole setup, I was like, oh, because they're trying to go after the same Slender Man kind of story. But it was.
I don't want to jump to the end because I know there's more we could talk about, but that's what kept throwing me off because it kept going from it could be a story to it could be real.
So that's the thing, right? So like the kid was seeing the dang mask in the vent.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't tell if it was trying to be like, oh, the kid's seeing stuff, but it turns out to be someone doing it to fuck with the people, or if it was actually like the place is haunted or something like that.
Yeah.
I felt like it was trying to be so many different things, and I think if it just focused on one thing, it would have been better.
Yeah, like instead of them trying to film so much and create all these different alternatives or whatever it could be, just like put everything into one and just beef that up as much as you can. You know.
Well, I mean, that little kid, like, I mean, when he first started, I was like, oh, this kid's not that great of an actor. But by the end, I was like, this kid's like genuinely creepy. The only thing is, I think he started off a little too creepy, but he was like legitimately creepy.
That's what I'm saying. When he was acting like a little kid, it was like, okay, this kid's acting skills are terrible. Yeah. But when he went into like that sinister part of him, I was like, he's actually playing that part pretty well.
Oh, when they went into the little clubhouse,
and
he taped his friend up, and
then you can see his whole face change.
Yeah, I
was like, yo, how'd they find this kid? Because that's just wild. He's acting too good.
I like the friend, man. The friend was looking hilarious. He said, my dad says your mom sleeps with everyone. That's why your dad left.
That's probably why he wanted to kill him.
I was like, oh, you kind of deserve this, bro.
For real.
His mom like that? Shit.
For real.
I was like, holy shit.
Man.
There was one quote in the movie that I really liked. It's right in the beginning. But it's when, oh shit, hold on. I'm laughing so hard, I'm tearing up.
Oh man.
So the therapist said, we all have to believe in something, a religion, another person, or our own intellect. And the girl says, how do you know if what you believe is true? She goes, we don't. We have to choose. And I actually really like that quote because it speaks a lot about like just life in general. Like to me, one of the things I always believe is that everything in life is knowledge. Everything in life is just information. You're taking it all in. It doesn't matter what that information is. What matters is what you choose to do with that information. So that's like, it doesn't matter if you believe in this religion or this, that, whatever. What matters is, does what you believe drive you to live as a better person? Because if it doesn't, who cares?
Yeah.
That's what you believe. But if what you believe drives you to, excommunicate people or, just look down on other people, judge other people, then maybe you might want to think twice about what you're thinking about or what you believe in.
Indeed.
Yeah. But man, like what's one of your favorite parts in the movie? Do you have any favorite parts in the movie?
A favorite part? At the time, it was the buildup of the dude in his office.
Yeah.
Because the way they set it up for what took place to take place, had me okay, cool. This is gonna be interesting, and making the radio turn off, him leaving the office, and then they included him drinking because, of course, with any type of substance in your system, even if you don't think that you're not seeing things or whatever, it's whether it's weed or alcohol, pills, whatever, it always alternates your way of thinking.
Yeah.
So I like the way they showed him, drinking and talking to himself, like, okay, he's gonna get the story. So the buildup of that was actually really, really good. Now how it ended, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
especially with that, so what was like, okay, so a couple of jump scares I really liked. One of the ones I really liked was when the girl was downstairs and the whatever you want to call it, the doll figure, whatever, smashes against the door and has she has that sign that's like psycho bitch or something like that.
Yeah.
And like then you see the car pulling away. So immediately I was like, okay, they're setting it up to be like, oh, it's almost like a revenge or someone's out to get this girl.
Yeah.
So
that's what I thought.
Yes, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. So like, this girl had this. All right, so for people who have never seen this movie, spoilers, obviously, if you don't know that by now. But so the lead character, her and her friend, take their other friend into the woods, and they end up stabbing her up and try to sacrifice her to Mercy Black. Mercy Black is this character that one of the girls created out in the woods, whatever. And so one of the girls, I think she went to jail. One girl, did she went to jail or she went to like a mental hospital?
Yeah,
15 years. And then when she gets out, she's trying to like distance herself from it. They try to tell her it's all made up, everything like that. But in that time that she's been away, the internet got big, and Mercy Black ended up becoming a like pop culture phenomenon. It's all over the internet and stuff like that. So now she's kind of like, local famous. And now when she's back in town, it's like people are looking at her almost like she's like a stain on the town. And they made it out to be like they were just trying to drive her back out of town or get her away from there.
Yeah.
So like, so when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. So now it's going to be more of a whodunit, like who the hell's, trying to like ravage this family and, break them apart and all this different things. But then when the kids started seeing stuff, I was like, I was in my head, I was like, okay, how are they going to explain this stuff happening in the house with someone outside trying to sneak in and do all that stuff? Like when the hands at top of the stairs stuck out the door, then came back.
Like that. And then like, of course, the kids start seeing stuff, and she was seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
So it gave that suspense that, okay, maybe this isn't people. Maybe, okay, people are trying to play their own prank on the girl because, of course, like I said, she's a neighborhood or
a local legend.
Yeah. But then they start just going back and forth from them playing a prank on her, messing with her, like you said, to the kids seeing stuff and actually throwing the viewer off. Like, okay, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying?
So that's the thing. Like, I appreciated that, but at the same time, like, I felt like it was like it's not close enough to where the stuff that felt supernatural to me it actually felt supernatural in a way where like you can't explain someone on the outside doing that.
Yeah.
Like you can, like with a doll hitting the door and then the people driving off. Like, so when that started happening, I felt like they were losing focus. Like you're trying to make it one thing and not the other. And it was just pulling my attention away.
Yeah.
And then,
because I'm sitting there thinking also, like for instance, you brought up the doll with the whole psycho bitch on it, whatever, at the house. Yeah. And obviously, you realize later on it's the girl with the missing finger or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when at the dude's house, when all the supernatural stuff is happening, and then the same thing happens, and then a hand comes through, like, is she really that strong? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And first of all, like, okay, let's get back to the dude. He was so adamant about getting onto this girl's like past history because he was trying to write a book.
Yeah, he wanted to get rich.
Yeah, that's it. He just wanted to make money off this girl, and which, I understand that motivation, but you just met the girl.
Yeah,
literally, you just met her that day, and you're already like that aggressive about it. Man, like it was. That to me, he was probably the most infuriating part of that movie.
Yeah. Because I look back at it, I'm wondering, like, if they even had to delete everything about him out, would it have done anything to the movie?
I don't think it would have did anything to the movie. You could have took his character out entirely, and all it would have did was just not give you someone to throw the scent off on. Because, I mean, other than, let's see, the dinner table, the thing at the stairs, like the dinner table, he acts like a friend, and then you can see at the end that end of that scene that he's already like heinous. Then the next time you see him at the stairs, they have that falling out, and then the next time you see him, he dies. So he's not in the movie for all that long.
If you guys wonder what I'm fighting with, my dog is sitting right here. Come on, Juice. Say hi. See? And she just won't leave me alone. That's why I keep pushing away. I'll go play.
Chris likes a lot of black stuff. So he got the black dog, black shirt, black bandana.
She's just as angry as I am, according to Sarath.
No, Juice is awesome. Like when I was over, Juice was laying next to me. We fell asleep next to each other. For some reason, you leave her home alone for a long time. It's what the job requires. She's actually cool. She just doesn't like other animals. Yeah, because you're truck gets, diverted for an hour and a half. Yeah, but she's gonna look at you like, I need to pee.
Yeah, she's all right. She's good.
Dude, so the librarian.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how you just gonna take a little kid into the library and start looking up stuff like that?
Well, see, I actually, when it came down to the end and they showed who she was, I got it.
Yeah.
Saying like, okay, cool. Like she was plotting the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I understood that part of the story like greatly. Like, okay, cool, I can dig it.
Yeah.
When it came to after the chick got stabbed and running down the little hallway or whatever, and Mercy Black looking like a scarecrow.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Like rose up and then came down and started screaming in her face.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was like, how? I don't know. Like, if it was just about the girl with the missing finger trying to get revenge, I think it would have been an awesome movie. I think.
I agree. I definitely agree.
But then because all of a sudden it was supernatural and no, Mercy Black is actually real. Like, man, it just when I saw that, I was like, like I wish they had put more effort into, the
like picking one or the other.
Yeah. Exactly. I felt like they were trying to like do both so you couldn't guess which one was which, but in turn, each story wasn't as strong as it could have been.
Yeah.
My opinion. I don't know.
I feel the same way.
If you watch it, maybe you think something different. But yeah, like it was enjoyable. I mean,
that's actually, like I said, I can't knock it because it kept me interested from front to back.
Yeah.
Like when I sat there, like, some days are long, some are short, whatever. Mm-hmm. So to sit there and actually watch that movie, and I watched it, I was like, oh wow, okay, it actually has my attention.
Yeah. Dude,
I think that's why.
When they killed the dog.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm a dog lover now. Like whenever you do anything to a dog, I'm a bee. Told you dog, and I was like, oh, okay, it's getting crazy because like the girl with the missing finger went as far as to kill the girl's dog.
Yeah.
And the message. So that's why I thought if it just stuck with the girl with the missing finger, it was great. But because all of a sudden Mercy Black is real,
and I guess and maybe this is what they were trying to paint, that Mercy Black is only real if you believe in it. Going back to the quote at the beginning of the movie, you got to believe in something.
Yeah, but the eyes popped up on the mask after. Like they really.
But that's what I'm saying. If that was how the mental people saw it, then that was, I guess, that was the image that they wanted to create for the viewer. Like this is what she sees, even though it's not real, but they see this character that they think is real. Yeah, but on the real side, the real part is the person that they tried to kill is trying to kill her. You know what I'm saying?
All right, but here's my issue with it. Like, it wasn't some urban legend that was 100 years old that like they latched onto. Like, they established that the girl made it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't say like, oh, she heard about it somewhere and brought it to them. They're like, no, she made it up. It's not real. Mm-hmm. And then first of all, she's comatose or something happened. She tried to hang herself and the mom stopped her.
Yeah.
Remember the girl that was in the trailer?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you a question. Why did the mom cover her with the blanket?
I thought about that, and my only common sense or 2 cents that I could think about is almost like a horse trying to get them out of a fire. If you cover their face and they can't see shit, then they calm down.
I get that because because the girl tried to attack the girl and like grab her or something. But when they first come into the room, she's covered in a blanket, and the mom says, "Oh yeah, she's doing okay." The trains, they're real loud, so they bother her. And I'm watching. I'm like, the hell that got to do with covering her face?
Well, the mom looked creepy anyways.
Yeah.
So, oh, you're here? And then matter of fact, and maybe this is just me, because there's 2 parts of the movie. One where when she goes to see her friend that's covered up in the blanket, and it's a picture of her and her dad. And then, I don't know if you remember, there's a part where they flash back to kids, and I think she has the glove, and she says, yeah, me and my dad come here, me and my dad do this, and she says, just us. So I was like, okay, are they trying to paint the picture like maybe this child was molested by her dad, but did not touch that too much? Because those 2 references, but then nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe that was just me. Maybe
I'm,
that's just what I saw.
I think it was you because I don't even remember that line in the movie. I don't even
Are you?
remember.
Are you
I don't
yeah.
know.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh,
Yeah, you're describing that. I'm like, what movie did this man watch?
the same one. Because she was like, "Yeah, my dad used to bring us here, just us."
Yeah,
But then, of course, that I thought that was going to reference back to because they singled in on the picture of her and her dad.
yeah,
So I was like, okay, maybe go try to meet this like a father-daughter dysfunctional relationship type something. But then, of course, that had nothing to do with it later. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly, that's if that happened, it completely skipped. I don't even remember that. I remember like the little kid, like within 2 seconds of the aunt showing up, he starts asking about Mercy Black. So I was just
Yeah.
like it wasn't like all of a sudden he started like, I don't know if Mercy Black was already at the house bothering the little kid, like I don't know what the aunt showing up has anything to do with the story.
Mm.
Like I get if the aunt showed up and then all of a sudden that kind of kicks off everything because then you got the nurse. I mean, there's the librarian with the missing finger trying to come back and like get revenge and all that different shit.
Yeah.
But literally within a couple minutes, the kid's asking about Mercy Black, and he says he sees her too. So I was just like, okay, like has he been getting bothered by this thing, for a while now?
Mm. Yeah, because then because he didn't know the story of his aunt.
Yeah,
He said that she was away at art school, right?
Yeah, with an art school.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like it never really touched on whether Mercy Black showed up because the aunt showed up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the gist I got once they saw the librarian and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I don't know what exactly it had to do with. Okay, let's again. I'm just jumping everywhere. The librarian. Like, was she trying to get revenge for the girl stabbing her, or was she trying to like do her up so that she went nuts enough to kill her? I couldn't figure out what she was trying to do.
I
What
feel
the
like
motivation was.
I feel like she just wanted to get revenge because she was a librarian. She knew the son. She introduced him to looking up things that Mercy Black instead of just cutting it off.
Yeah.
And use him as a pawn, so to speak.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So if she's trying to get back at her, then why at the end of the movie she basically did everything to like entice her and then left her alive? It says, if you, I'm going to go slice your nephew's throat unless you can stop me. So was she like, I can't tell if she was trying to get revenge on her or if she was trying to like get her so mad that she kills her so that she can be the sacrifice that she wanted to be.
You know what? I didn't think about it like that. Now that you put it out there.
Yeah.
I mean, because she was supposed to be the sacrifice. But okay, but here's my other question. Did she know she was going to be the sacrifice?
But I don't know. I think
because
so.
they hit her in the head with a rock where she was kneeled down.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, so the whole thing, it looked like they surprise attacked her, jabbed her up, and she just happened to live through the whole thing.
But she knew who Mercy Black was, obviously, because I don't think they went into any details about how they got her in there.
Yeah.
Into the room where they was creating Mercy Black. Now you got to give her something.
Yeah.
I think she took off her headband or whatever.
Yeah, because they didn't really establish she was in the room until the aunt realized that she might still be alive. And then that flashback and like, oh, you got to give her something too. So like, oh, that girl was in the room too. But now it's like, I can't tell. Yeah, I can't tell. Like, because it looked like they sneak attacked her.
Yeah.
Went to kill her, to sacrifice her. But then at the end, she wanted to be the sacrifice the whole time. So why they sneak attack her? Why didn't they just do it? Make sure she was dead.
See, that's what I thought. Okay, now I think about that. Now that you say it, but I honestly thought she wanted revenge because she said, "I'm gonna leave you the way you left me." Because when they stabbed her up and cut her finger off, and then left her on the river. Did they throw her in the water?
No, they left her on the riverbank.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. She goes, "I'm gonna leave you like you left me, like left her for dead." But then all of a sudden, at the end, she really wants to be the sacrifice. She's like, you don't have the guts to do it and kill me and stuff like that. So I couldn't tell. Like, is she mad that they did this to her and she's trying to get revenge, or was she trying to get her so mad that she killed her so she could be the sacrifice? And then if that's true, then like, what was the whole deal with? Why didn't they just make sure she was dead when they were little kids? Because she obviously wanted to be the sacrifice.
Okay, if that's the case, but the other girl couldn't do it. The one that the movie is based around, the main character.
Yeah.
You know, she couldn't do it then, and she didn't, and she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it when they were kids, and she couldn't do it when they were adults.
No, I understand that, but like, what I'm saying is, they left her alive when they could have easily, if she wanted to be the sacrifice, they could have easily, like, if it wasn't her, the other girl could have easily killed her and made sure she was dead. But then all of a sudden she comes back and gets revenge on them and then says she's going to leave her for dead like she left her. And then, but she obviously wasn't mad that she was left for dead if she wanted to be the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Oh. Like I said, yeah, the message was really confusing. Like I wasn't sure what it was trying to tell.
Indeed.
Although that last shot with the little kid,
that's what surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. I did not see that coming at all.
If you saw that in theaters, you would literally be like, oh fuck, like did that just yeah. I don't know. Go watch the movie. If you hear,
I mean, yes, I guess to get back on subject with the movie.
Yeah, go watch the movie and tell me what you think. I'll put a hashtag on Twitter for this episode. Tell us what you thought of the movie, because I'm completely perturbed at what they were trying to go for.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from like, just a normal, like, release it during Halloween and it's something fun to watch.
I mean, yeah. I mean, because like I said, there were some spots in there that, like, okay, another one of my favorite parts is the beginning of the movie, or towards the beginning, where the girl goes home in her old room with the old bed and everything, and they show the curtain moving, like there's a breeze coming through.
Yep.
And then, of course, the closet door opens a little bit.
Yep.
You right over there?
Yeah, I'm just burping.
Oh, okay.
I got my light ciders right here.
Yeah, that's
light ciders. I'm gonna grab another one in a second.
Drink some whiskey, man. You don't burp off whiskey.
Whatever. It's high calories. And it's delicious, man. Don't judge me.
Who counts calories on alcohol? You just want the taste.
Exactly. I mean,
you want the feeling. Anyway,
next time I'll make myself an old fashioned.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool. But yeah, I did appreciate that whole build up. They showing the curtain moving, then the door opening, and to make you think something's gonna happen, but then it came down to the kids just playing.
Yeah. He grabbed an ankle.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a genuine jump scare.
Yeah. And because the whole buildup of it, you know what I'm saying? But
that's why I like the friend. I thought the friend felt like a little asshole, friend in town that just wants to do shit.
Yeah.
I still can't believe he talked about dude's mom like that. Your mom sleeps with all the guys. That's why
your dad left. That's like the worst. Oh man.
Oh, it's okay. I got another question. How'd the therapist know about the other girl, Lizzie or Izzy, whatever her name was? Because was it Izzy? It was when she finds the girl at the house after the girl gets attacked by the doll, whatever they were making, the Mercy Black thing.
Yeah.
Finds her at the house and she's trying to explain to her about the nephew or what happened. And then she's like, "Oh, was it this girl?" And like, "Oh, she was whatever." Like,
oh yeah,
this name and all this stuff.
Because she said she's back or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, she left, changed her name. Now she's back and all this stuff. I was like, how did she know about her?
And if that's the case, why didn't she say something?
Yeah.
Because, matter of fact, that brings up another point to the movie.
Yep.
They never expressed, because you don't even know that the girl that they tried to kill to cut the finger off is even alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Until later on.
Yeah, which I didn't mind, because again, you're throwing off that sound. Like, who could be doing this? Because it made you think it was the dude that wanted the book.
Yeah.
But then, like, it ends up being, the librarian who ends up being the girl that they tried to kill. But, like, I don't know how the therapist knew about her and never brought it up to her or something. Because she obviously didn't know anything about that girl.
Yeah. Or because she did release her from the mental institution.
Yeah.
But never once mentioned that, Lizzie's back, she's a librarian or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think that's important information?
Yeah. And like maybe if they show like something with the therapist in the middle of the movie where she finds out something, But it was just, it was like a lot of stuff done for convenience to try to throw you off versus actually explaining it right.
I agree. Because it kept you, and I think that's what kept me interested, trying to figure out which story was the one to follow.
Yeah.
The hallucinations, that it could be real, the dude, trying to figure out which one is the one that they're trying to get to.
And that's the thing. Like, I think if it's stuck with that, like a whodunit, who's got the motivation to try to, terrorize his family?
Yeah.
I thought it would have been great. But then all of a sudden it turns out Mercy Black is real. That's, to me, it was like, oh, you went there.
But see, that's what I'm saying. If they did it, if this is what they were trying to do, they did it horribly. But if this is what they're trying to do and say Mercy Black is real, but it's only real to, like I said earlier, the people that believed in it.
Yeah.
Because the little boy, I don't think, started believing in it until he heard about it. Yeah. And then, so I think that if that's what they were trying to say, like in everyday human life, like going back to the quote at the beginning of the movie, you got to believe in something. So people that are crazy or schizophrenic or whatever you want to call them, that see things that we look at, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Maybe that's really there to them. But to us, we're just like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what they may have been trying to do, was show that the girl and the little boy could see it. It's not real, but in their mind, it's real. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, because then they had the eyes pop in after the girl was finally sacrificed. Then all of a sudden that big thing gets the eyes, and they're like, oh, maybe she's now becoming real. I really feel like they were trying to like establish a franchise. Like this is gonna be the next Saw or something like that. I don't know, man. It was so all over the place that I wasn't sure like how to take it.
Yeah. That's why I said if I went to the movie theater, but it was.
You ever walked out of a movie in the movie theater?
No, I paid for it.
No, fuck that. Even if it's not good, I'm gonna walk out. So caveat: I've never walked out either, but I have wanted to walk out once, and it was a horror movie. I wanted to walk out because by the end of that movie, I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
Gotcha.
Can you have a guess? Can you take a guess what movie it was?
A horror movie? No.
Dude, Jeepers Creepers 2.
See, I really got past the first one.
Dude, the first one's dope. With the dude with the slicker on, he drives that truck and all stuff. He's got all the bodies and shit. Like
where he takes out the school bus and everything, right?
No, so the school. That's the second one. The first one is where he's chasing the two kids. The dude from Accepted, Justin Long.
Okay.
And him and I think it's his sister or whatever. But like he's trying to chase after them in this small town, and he's got that truck. Yeah, the one with the school bus where all of a sudden he just becomes like a superhero and he flips the entire bus. And then
let's see. Okay, I thought that was the first one because that's the one I saw. Like, what the hell am I watching? You know why?
Dude, by the end of it, when like they blast off his arms and his legs, and next thing you know, he's hopping along like a grasshopper in the meadow.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, get this off my screen. Like I was so to go watch that.
Oh man,
I liked Soul Plane more than I like Jeepers Creepers 2. And Soul Plane is like, you know.
Yeah. We'll sit there for another time.
Have you seen Soul Plane? There's a Soul Plane too.
Yeah, look, there's some movies where I just can't get through. So I'll sit and watch it, or just like, I won't even waste my time on it.
I watched Soul Plane again, probably like 5 or 6 years ago. It aged better than I thought. I actually laughed a little more now than I did. Maybe because I didn't pay to watch it. I just saw it on TV. But I actually laughed a lot more as I was older than I was when I was younger. Maybe I took it too seriously back then. But
yeah. I don't know. You know, I catch movies now just at the end of the day. And I come in off the road and I just throw on whatever's on TV. Yeah. And that's why I actually like this podcast.
Yeah.
Give me a movie, or we decide a movie, I'll throw it on.
No, I'm genuinely curious what kind of movies we're going to get into, because I was scrolling the other day and I was like, ooh, we got some gems here, because not every one of them is going to be a thriller, or we might be watching Barney and Friends or something.
Oh shit,
I'll make you watch some Barney, like some
I mean, if it's what you pick, it's what I gotta watch,
as long as it's a movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh shit, good God. Okay,
we're gonna watch like Muppets Take Baghdad or some shit. Like,
that would be the worst. Oh, good God.
oh man. All right. So final thoughts on this movie. Like, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts about it. I wasn't disappointed at it. Like I said, I was really, really surprised. It's not one I'd recommend to my friends, like, hey, come over and watch this movie or check this out. It's just like, just stumble across it and watch it when you got nothing to do, like, at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like I said, it kept me interested. So I like the fact that I stayed interested. I just couldn't piece it all together. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Final thoughts? Are we rating this like 1 to 10 or something like that?
You can rate it. Let's see. Okay, let's just do something a little different. Like, we ain't 1 to 10 people. Let's say how many? Let's say 1 out of 5.
I mean, how many drinks do you need to get through this movie? At least for me.
Yeah. This is for you. Yeah. Okay. Let's. Yeah. How many drinks do you get this movie? I don't know. Like, how do you rate that? If 5 drinks, is that good or bad?
Well, I think the more drinks, the worse it is. And for me, because if I'm drinking and I'm constantly pouring a drink and watching the movie, eventually the drink's gonna take over, and I'm not even gonna care about what I'm watching anymore.
Yeah.
So if I could give this a drink rating from 1 to 10 of how many drinks I needed to watch the movie, and I'm talking official drinks, not my type of drinking, I say 3, because it made me want to keep trying to figure out which direction it was going in.
Yeah.
But that's it. Only because you want to see what direction it's going in.
I don't know. I might if it's
for you, what would it be? Mine's gonna be drink rating. What would your rating be?
My drink rating would probably be like 5.
For drinks?
Yeah. Like, I think, like, again, I don't know if I'd recommend my friends, like, yo, go watch, you got to go check this movie out. But I think if you came across and you popped it on, you could do worse. Like, it's not a terrible movie, but it's not one that I would search out to go watch. You know, for everybody listening, I want you to search out and go watch it. But to the people I care about, don't go searching out and watching it. But
see, I would have changed the rating because I drink, as you know.
Yeah.
You don't drink that much. That's why I said I'm gonna give it a drink rating. What kind of rating would you give it? Like,
I don't know.
But not drinking wise. What would your scale be?
I don't know. I have no idea what I would judge anything by. Like, cause I don't know. I'm gonna have to.
How many cups of rice?
Man, first of all, very stereotypical. Second of all, I'm on low carb. Third of all, I might actually use that.
Oh man,
I gotta come up with something that, like, it sounds like okay, because that needs to distract me enough to where I don't really care to pay attention.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe how many times I pick up my phone. I don't know.
That's actually not a bad rating.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you know, obviously back in the movie when we go to the movies, you know, the phone is taboo. Leave that shit in the car. But if you're at home, it's sitting right beside you. So yeah, matter of fact, that's actually not a bad rating. Like, how many times did you pick up your phone while watching this movie?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 1 through 10. How many times would you consider you pick? I'd say 5.
Okay.
It was interesting enough to where I kind of wanted to see where it was going, but not enough for where I was like invested. If it stayed the course like it did for the first 20 minutes, I might have gotten invested into it. But to me, it derailed. Or not derailed, but it got too convoluted.
Yeah.
That's man. So like we said, is there any, like, what quote would you attribute to a movie like this? Life quote. We're real philosophical. So let's give me.
Or we think we are in our own minds.
Exactly. We drunk philosophical.
Yeah. If I could put a quote with this movie,
Come on. What you got?
I mean, I got one, but at the same time, I don't want to take it from the movie because, like you said,
oh, you can even if it's from the movie. Like, oh yeah, I heard one in the movie that really speaks to the movie.
Well, what you started the podcast off with, you know, everybody has to believe in something.
Yeah.
You know, and what you said. Just whatever you believe in. Is it helping you become a better person? Because if not, maybe you got to change what you're believing in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause,
First of all, you didn't take my quote.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't want to take the quote, but that's actually the quote I would think about because
I would go with that because that's first of all such a good quote. It's
it is.
And like, yeah, that's kind of, it gives kind of the lesson of the movie is like, you know, you got to believe in something, like whether it's your own intellect, whether it's another person, whether it's religion, whatever. Yeah, and I think the key to life is, you know, whatever you're believing in, is it making you a better person? And if it isn't, maybe you should rethink what you're believing in. Just like with the girl, like what she believed in once landed her in an institute.
Yeah.
Thinking about all this other stuff, and then, you know, coming back to a town scared of everything on the outside. So, you know, maybe she had to just rethink what she invested her life into and, you know, find something else.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you put that in everyday life, just notice all kinds of people in this world, all kinds of religions, as we know, races, shapes, sizes, whatever. But at the end of the day, which I believe in, if you're just nice to everybody, there ain't no rule book in that.
Exactly.
Just be nice.
Exactly. I think at the end of the day, like, you know how they say like 98% of every religion is the same, but it's the 2% that is different that everybody gets so hung up on. It's like if you're just nice to people, unlike the dude in the movie who's nice because he's trying to get something. Like, you're just genuinely nice to people without hope of anything in return. You're nice because you're nice. Generally speaking, like, you're gonna live a better life because you're not gonna have much to worry about. There's not gonna be a lot on your plate that you're worried coming back at you because you didn't put that kind of energy out there.
Yeah, matter of fact, I don't know if I told you this while we were talking, but I guess tell you a little story. My car went down a couple weeks ago. You know, it's not the little Dollar General pick up a little supplies.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the car wouldn't start. I don't know why. It was a fuse. Actually, it was a fuse, but that's what it was. But either way, a couple came out the store, and I had my dog with me, and it was him, his wife, and his baby. And he said, "We can give you a ride home." I was like, you know, it's funny because I'm from the city, and you know, as many people that are around there, people really won't stop in the city and help you.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, because in the city you can get to a lot of things. You know, you can make a phone call. There might be a shot down the road, whatever. He said, out here in the country, we're all we got. So we have to help each other because when you go through something, you hope somebody stops and helps you.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It's real. Because when you in a place like this, all you got is the people around you.
Yeah.
And when shit goes left, let's hope they come through.
I feel like that speaks a lot to like small towns, because like in small towns, people know what it's like to be stranded and without.
Yeah.
Because supplies are limited, all those different things. So like, you know, you got to rely on other people. Again, in the city, when there's a lot of access, people are only worried about what they need to get themselves through. So there's like that quote where like, you know, if there's a piece of trash on the ground in the city and like 100 people will just stand there pointing at it saying, I can't believe someone would litter. I can't believe someone would, you know, leave the trash out there. When then a little kid will come walking by, see the trash, just pick it up and toss it in the garbage.
Yeah.
It's over and done with. It's because like, you know, just sometimes doing something instead of waiting for someone else to, I don't know what that has to do with what you said. It's just because it has, I'm literally, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait, this is a completely different lesson. Either way, just do your part and help out.
Pretty much. And be nice to people.
Don't do your part and help out. And then when you get home, like, hey, now you owe me $5 for gas. Like, no, just be genuine and nice. Yeah. The other day, I gave a ride to a homeless person. Not the smartest, you know, especially in the city, not the smartest, you know, choice on
yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. But like sometimes you just gotta do something nice without any, you know, hope of repercussion or reciprocation.
Yeah, indeed.
All right. So all right, I think that's gonna wrap up episode 1 of the movie cover roulette, because it's literally picked by random. So before we go, Chris, I picked Mercy Black.
Yeah.
So next week is your choice. So what you got?
Honestly, I couldn't find the movie. I know I saw it on HBO Max like 2 days ago, and I couldn't find it to remember the title. So I found something else random called The Human Stain.
The Human Stain.
Yeah, but it's with Anthony Hopkins and somebody else.
And
so
It's where can I find this? Because remember, the rules is it has to be streaming right now.
Yeah, this was on HBO Max. Well, that's where I found it. The human stain.
Hold on, let me look at this cover real quick because it is it is movie cover roulette.
Yeah,
HBO Max, The Human Stain. Man, why does this sound? I feel like I'm getting into something that I shouldn't be getting into.
I just looked at the picture and it looked like it might be a decent, maybe drama, I guess.
Hold on. So right now, if for those who are watching on video, I'm holding it up to the screen, but it's The Human Stain.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins and who's that? I don't know who that lady is.
Nicole Kidman is.
Oh, I couldn't think of her name. I know who she is, but I couldn't think of her name.
That's Nicole Kidman's dope. That's
Days of Thunder
all day, dog. That's the only movie I remember her in. Days of Thunder and like Eyes Wide Shut. I don't know if I remember any other movie that she's in.
Hopefully she doesn't watch this. She might cuss you out. Man,
I'm 38. Like I watch what I watch. If she was in a kung fu movie, yeah, I would have probably seen it already.
So who's the not racist?
I like what I like. Don't judge me.
I like kung fu too, for the record.
Yeah, we all like different kind of movies. All right, so you know what? So just to give, I want to give the people listening a sense of what type of movies we're into. So name me 2 movies that you really like.
I'll name my top 2. Like I said, Big Fish and 300.
Okay, yeah. So that's real varied. You got high octane action, and then you got
more of a mental.
Yeah, very cerebral type of movie. I like Rounders and Iron Monkey. We'll put those. I mean, I got tons of movies that I like, but it's I'm very eclectic. I rarely see a movie where I'm like, that's a bad movie. I can usually see the good in any kind of
try
movie.
To find something good out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, if you're all right. So one of the things I hate is when people go into movies looking for something. Not necessarily like they're looking for something to complain about. They're looking to try to figure out the movie before it's even over, things like that. And I know my complaints about this movie are because like I thought it was going one way. That's all hindsight. And while I was watching, I wasn't thinking like what was happening next. But like, for example, I went to go see not Signs. I think it was Signs. No, I'm sorry, not The Village, or the M. Night Shyamalan movie. I went with a couple of friends of mine when I was younger, and within 5 or 6 minutes of the movie, one of my friends was like, "Oh, I already figured out the twist at the end." And I was like, then you're not enjoying the movie. If you're watching this movie trying to figure out the twist 5 minutes into it, then you're not enjoying the movie. So you're going to be disappointed regardless. Like, don't do that to yourself. Now you're just going to waste the next 2 hours because, depending on how, if you get the twist right, you're going to be like, oh, I guessed that in the beginning. This movie's terrible. If you guess it wrong, you're going to be like, oh, I just spent the last 2 hours thinking it's one thing. And now because it's not that, I hate it. Like, stop doing that to yourself.
Yeah. All right.
Why'd you pick a bandana? Just out of curiosity.
Honestly, this is just part of my get up when I'm truck driving, sweating. And then it keeps
bandana in your life. Now,
nah, because I wear it when I'm in the truck.
Please.
And it keeps the hair looking like mushroom.
Guys, he's lying. He's lying. For those who ain't watching, for those who's listening, just know this guy's got guilt all over his face.
Oh, whatever. It makes me look good.
He's trying to hide his LeBron. Take that how you want. For those who are watching, because you can see the line popping out on the corner.
No, you can't.
Right there. Bro, look at that. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
The fact that I said, no, you can't, just gave myself away. Oh, man.
Fade away. You got that Jordan fade away right there.
Oh, man. Hey, I'm gonna let this hair go as long as it can.
He's gonna look like some burnt broccoli.
Burnt broccoli, really?
Dude, Uh, we listen. We joke with each other like this all the time. Like this is our friendship. Like,
Oh, yes, indeed.
In all honesty, if you get offended by anything we say to each other, just understand that like that's the rapport we have with each other, and we're not trying to offend anyone, but we're gonna talk to each other the way we talk to each other because that's our friendship.
Indeed.
You know? And if you don't like it, sorry.
Not changing. Real.
Right, so next week, right, dog? We're going to be watching. Was it The Human Stain?
Yes, indeed.
Man, I have no idea what to expect with this thing.
Me either.
It's a really weird looking cover though. Like, look, it's called Human Stain, but it looks like she's about to pull down her like lingerie strap.
Hey,
what kind of mood were you in when you picked this? I'm curious to see. I'm curious what movie that you were gonna pick, and then you couldn't find it, so you decided on this instead.
I mean, I could tell you the name of the movie, but for some reason, I don't know if they took it down or whatever the case may be, or maybe I was looking in the wrong app.
Well, so maybe that's the thing. So that's the thing with streaming. Like, you know, you got to hop on the movies while they're there because just because there's so many movies doesn't mean they're always going to be there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's one of the rules we have is like it has to be streaming right now because we want people to be able to go enjoy and maybe see if their thoughts run parallel to ours. I don't know. We'll see.
Indeed.
I'm looking at the background.
No, don't worry about this.
You know,
Don't about none of this.
You got like the room version of a Volkswagen. Like if the Volkswagen was a building, that's what it would be. Not Volkswagen, but like a station wagon.
Hey, in my defense, we just started this, and I told you how I wanted my background set up, but I got enough of some things to make it look how I want it to look. So,
it looks like
plain and simple
like
for now.
Like you on the set of the Wonder Years?
Hey,
like 80s family.
They actually come with a new one.
Yeah, I saw that. It's a black family.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Wow. Like, I don't think you should have to change your race and stuff, but I'm actually curious because it's a different race. You can actually tackle things that you didn't get to tackle in the first one. So it's gonna be cool. Can't wait to see it.
Indeed.
Right. As always, it's your boy Sarath,
Chris Brown.
All right, we'll come back next week with the Movie Cover Roulette podcast.
Indeed.
I just found that button on my mixer. All right, yo, we out.
I feel legit now.
Oh, you just need an intro song, right?
Yeah, I guess for real.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Yep.